Alrighty folks, Forrest here. Today's video I'm gonna get you right and ready with some of the most anticipated games that you won't want to miss. February is definitely the month for every type of gamer. I'm not just saying that, I mean it. So without squeezing any more of your time, let's go ahead and jump on in. Starting with an action RPG is Monster Hunter Wilds. Although Capcom has this similar to its previous title, this upcoming brand new game is going to start us gamers as a hunter. Obviously, it's in the name. We can customize these hunter characters as we embark in the living world, as it's called. This new game will feature several biomes, but let's dive into the mechanics and finicky parts of how we'll play. The game will support 4-player co-op multiplayer, although you can still play alone, but for those who choose to play solo, can enlist up to 3 other hunters by shooting a flare, and a live player / NPC will help. I'm glad that's a feature. I can see myself on my knees.
What?
Begging for help after getting destroyed back to back by these crazy old creatures. Now, Monster Hunter Wilds' newest combat features a focus mode, which indeed allows players to launch attacks on specific body parts of a monster that will indeed do a lot more damage. How can we forget about the newly mounted companion called Secret? I don't know about that name there, you're gonna have to help me there folks. Apparently it'll help us with traveling during combat situations. Imagine you're just scrolling around and a mutated bunny just comes along, looking for some problems, and our buddy Secret bites him and rips it open. Sheesh, might be a little graphic there, but hey, it's a raptor dino for Christ's sakes, what do you expect? Apparently as well, many folks aren't too sure if we'll see any new weapons during the launch of the game, but we do know 14 types of weapons from the previous entry will be returning to this anticipated game. Another item known as the Slinger will be returning as well. I don't remember this one much, but it's going to be nice to have just by checking out the trailers. One amazing game mechanic feature I tend to enjoy is when a game cycles through time, basically being able to see the world change. Devs have stated that monsters will follow prey, and we will indeed see a more realistic ecosystem. Just seeing that in a world like this is just immersive to me, and it makes you feel like everything is alive and not just stale. The developers for this series, apparently from reports, said they spent more research and development to determine what kind of features to implement because of the newly wide range of players they received from Monster Hunter World's previous game title. The art director said Wilds has been in development for 5 to 6 years, so that's definitely a good amount of time to receive feedback from players and all as well, so that's good. I have high hopes for this game. It seems it'll definitely be a great RPG as long as they can keep their word on making sure they'll listen to player feedback. Monster Hunter Wild releases on February 28th on PC, Xboxes, and the PS5. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. We already did a video of a couple bits of this game, but I guess we'll mainly discuss the gameplay mechanics more here, just a bit more. Again, if you don't know, in this entry, it's confirmed we will have firearms such as crossbows, also apparently a black powder weapon, but not sure on that bit there. Who knows, it might be a firearm, actual firearm, gun, whatever, but you know, who knows. It's been reported that different crossbows will be implemented historically accurate. Each of these seems to have its own reason of why to use them. The biggest mechanic here they tweaked from the previous title is with the combat system. Apparently it'll reduce the attack zones, which is nice because that means it's going to be more in your face fighting. As well, we can use taunts and go in screaming with custom battle cries. It's not overly confirmed yet, but we can already assume we're going to be able to improve Henry throughout the kingdom with new skill trees or deeper character customizations. The story for this one is by far the most anticipated game story so far of 2025. Henry will seek revenge for his family murder. In this new title, Henry is definitely more trained in combat compared to how he was in the first Kingdom game. Warhorse Studio the devs for this one, which you can check out their deep dives on their YouTube channel. One thing they mentioned about Kingdom Deliverance 2 is that it's similar to the first game but with tweaks in addition to improve the quality of the product. But also they envision to keep Deliverance 2 simple for all players, so the combat won't be too much for new players but also not too much of a burden for the old players who have played the first entry. Kingdom Deliverance 2 will indeed release February 4th on PC, PS5, and the Xboxes. Don't miss out on our latest adventures. Subscribe today if you made it this far in the video. You might as well go and hit that subscribe button to help the channel grow so you can become part of the Twisted Force crew, so you'll never miss an upload, as obviously helps out. Now back to the video. Civilization 7, the grand city builder / strategy game. Being able to manage your kingdom or nation is always fun. The sequel is the 7th entry of the series with a heap of new changes and features, introducing us to a revamped 3 new ages to dive in. This gives players a freedom to choose either one and start a new superpower in. With this brand new Civ game being announced at the Summer Game Fest in 2024, we saw in the trailer a couple different game-changing world mechanics, such as tornadoes and also different nations at war. I simply can't wait to see the new diplomacy system that will allow for complex alliances, trade agreements, and even crazier espionage. This adds a whole new layer of depth to the game, which honestly all games, even in the ballpark at Civilization game series, should learn and adopt. I am legit talking about you freaking Total Conflict devs, because to me, you should always strive to have better diplomacy in world building games. Anyway, we may even see even more harsh environmental changes coming to this game as well, like volcano and lightning. Geesh man, I tell you, if my city gets set back because of a volcano, I might just hit the quit button. The updated culture system is another exciting addition that add a new way of strategy in the game. Players can shape the culture identity of their civilization, influencing everything from architecture to art. smart. Low-key, I'ma have my nation like the Spartan mentality if that's the case. For Axis Games, the devs for the series have announced there will be 16 plus new Empire leaders, which is always nice to see. Sid Meier's Civilization may be the charge and juice that the genre needs to get back on its feet, even though you can debate if the Civilization series ever took a step back, but Civ 7 will release February 11th on all platforms. Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, building off the iconic Dragon engine, the combat is fast-paced, fluid, and strategic. Players can seamlessly switch between different fighting styles on land, such as brawler, sword fighting, and gunplay. While exploring the open world environment on the seas, naval combat becomes an integral aspect where you can command your own pirate ship, engage in high-octane ship battles, and board enemy vessels with dynamic hand-to-hand combat sequences. This adventure title, it'll take place after the events of the last series known, Infinite Wealth. But in this apparent spin-off, we'll focus on Goro Majima, who indeed lost his memory on an island. This leads to the madman Majima and his crew to look for some treasure, as he's the apparent new pirate king in a somewhat gangland. I mean, folks, again, just to be clear, I said gangland, alright? Don't judge. We listen and we don't judge.
Who the fuck does he think he is?
I think he's
you piece of shit.
What?
Who do you think you are?
Huh?
Is that a good thing what he did or a bad thing?
No, that's a good thing.
Take it back.
Majima finds himself in a new tale, or I guess a new problem, involving local pirates and ex-Yakuza members from Japan. The vast ocean surrounding Hawaii isn't just for traveling between islands. It's full of hidden treasures, dangerous pirate factions, and strategic islands to conquer. Players can upgrade and customize their pirate ships, choosing between different types of canyons, cells, and holes. This series is known for its beat-em-up combat, but the addition of this new combat is now players will be able to jump and perform new deadly combos to engage enemies. Also, we can't forget about ship combat being in this entry. Just being able to board other ships and take over is definitely a new form of combat that people are going to enjoy for sure. Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii will release on PC, PS5, Xbox, February 21st. Last bummy game on our list here is Ambulance Life Simulator. We all know and enjoy the simulator games such as Police Simulator. What's the other one that's been generating lots of buzz? I think it's Supermarket Simulator, but Ambulance Simulator is going to bring a more realistic and immersive experience like never before. From responding to emergency calls to treating injured and beat up patients on the go, the game developers have worked closely with emergency responders to ensure that it's realistic as possible. Players must make quick decisions often with the lack of info to save lives. In one scenario, just imagine a patient's life rapidly deteriorating, and you must decide whether to administer life-saving meds or wait for further notice. The clock is ticking, and waiting could have long-lasting impact on the patient's outcome. Just things like that will be intense, man, honestly. The devs Arise Interactive, based in Munich, Germany, have a pretty good record with the simulation genre, with previously helping develop Police Simulation Patrol. Ambulance Life Simulator releases on PC, Xbox, PS5, February 6th.